people. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I wanted to come in here and have a quick stock market conversation with you guys. I wanted to let you know what's going on with the stock market so that you can get ahead of the curve and make some money, man. I mean, I tell you what, a lot of us are out here hustling and working hard every day to make money, and I think that that's fine. I think hard work is very important. But there are ways to make money without working. And this is something that I would not say if it wasn't true. You guys know my background. I'm a finance professor. I've taught at University of Kentucky, Indiana University, Syracuse University, etc. And you'd be amazed at how much money there is out here, even in your own community, even in the Black community. If you were to measure our income, that 1.6 trillion that we make every year, we would actually exceed the gross domestic product of out of 177 countries. I think that there are only 11 countries on earth. Did y'all know this? There's only 11 countries on earth that have more income than the Black community. How many of y'all knew that? Give me a yes or no if you knew that. Now, before I get started, give me a quick yes if you can hear me. Let's do a quick sound check. I want to make sure my audio is coming through good. And if you stick around to the end of the podcast, I will give you a stock that I just bought. I just bought this stock. I believe it's going to do well long term. I'm a long term investor, and I believe the stock is going to make some money for all of us in the next 3 to 5 years. So let me know if you can hear me. Give me a quick yes, because sometimes I do my audio and it doesn't come through right, and then I end up sounding stupid, and I feel bad the whole next day. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. All right, so let's jump into this conversation. First thing is, last week you guys saw that the stock market went really south. You saw the stock market kind of got its butt kicked. It was a big collapse. I was talking to a lot of our students in the Prime program about it, and there's a lot of panic, a lot of concern, uncertainty, and I fully understand that. I completely get that. But one of the things that you also might have noticed, give me a yes if you noticed how strong the recovery was. Let me know if you saw that. The stock market just went berserk in terms of literally giving back all the money that it took away. It kind of it reminded me of when I was when I moved to Rochester when I was 27 years old, and I had the worst year of my life. It was 1998-99. The first week I moved to Rochester, somebody stole my car. Somebody literally stole my car the first week. There was a police lieutenant who was on our trip to Egypt, and I told her all about the story because she worked in Rochester. And so they stole my car, and I was all devastated because I was like, oh crap, I don't have a car. And I called the police, and I was like, somebody stole my car. And they were like, what did your car look like? And I told them, and I gave them all the information. They were like, okay, so how long ago was it? And I was answering the questions, but I didn't think I would ever get my car back. And the reason he was asking me those questions was because apparently in Rochester, there's a thing where people will steal your car and just do a joyride and then give the car right back. So he goes, wait a minute. And I said, okay, what are you waiting? What do you have me waiting for? And he goes back to the back and he says, oh, your car is here in the pound. We found your car. And so that just, I don't know, for some reason that reminded me, because the stock market does that too. The stock market will give it, and the stock market will take it away, and then the stock market will give it right back. This is something they call these reversals. The reversals are a big trend, a consistent trend in the stock market. This is one of the things I wrote my dissertation on when I did my doctorate in finance. And I can tell you these reversals happen all the time, mainly because the stock market is a drama queen. Generally speaking, investors tend to overreact. They tend to push prices too high and then they come back in. They tend to push them too low and then they come back up. They call that a dead cat bounce. So this market, it did not surprise me one bit when this market just literally came right back around and did the opposite of what it had been doing the entire week. In fact, what I'm going to try to do is share my screen to show you guys just kind of what this looked like. I'm going to show you the S&P 500, and you can see this. Now, this past month, overall in the S&P, this past month has not been a strong month. Let me know if you can see that on my screen. Can you guys see that? Give me a quick yes if you see that. So if you look here, you'll notice that the market's kind of going along, doop, and then you have this big dip. This is the panic. That's Monday, August 5th. And then you just sort of are lingering down here below. And if you go back to listen to the conversations I was having. Now, by the way, if you're listening on TikTok or something, I can't share my screen on TikTok, but if you go to drboycetv.com, my YouTube channel, you can see this. So I apologize if you're on TikTok. You're just going to have to take my word for it. And also, if you're listening on Spotify, same thing. If you look up my name, Boyce Watkins, on Spotify, you can find me there as well. But you see here, this was when I was telling you guys on that day, I said, chances are this is not going to last. I did research on why the market was declining. Basically, what happened was the market got kind of some bad economic information, but the thing was that the data wasn't that terrible. It wasn't devastating information. It was just like, yeah, unemployment's kind of going up a little bit. Inflation might not be as under control as we think. Those are kind of the two big variables. Those are the two big behemoths right now: inflation and unemployment data. And so the market's just like, oh my God, right? So basically, when that happened, I was telling you guys, I think this might be a buying opportunity. Now, nobody knows for sure, right? That's how I think you can understand. You can know when somebody knows what they're talking about and when they don't. People who tell you things for sure, like if they tell you that they know for sure that a certain stock is going to go up and they know for sure that the market's going to do X, Y, Z. Those are usually people who don't know anything about what they're talking about. They never really studied finance. Maybe they took one class or something. As a person who's taken 1,000 different classes and taught 1,000 different classes on this topic, I know enough to know what I know, and I know enough to know what I don't know. So one thing I know is that nobody really knows for sure what this market's going to do. Nobody knows. So when it dropped, it's like, yeah, it could be the beginning of a long collapse, or it could be a chance for you to go in here and make some money. Chances are there's some money to be made. I can't say this for sure, but this is what my best guess is. This is how I position my portfolio. So if you want to know what I did when the market took that little dip, is I went shopping. I went shopping like crazy. And I said, look, you know what? If it keeps going down, I'm gonna keep on shopping, because that's kind of what it means to kind of commit to the process. Okay. So right now you can see the market's coming back up, and a lot of money was made between the bottom and the rally. And one thing I want you to pay attention to as well is that there is a consistent media bias where the media loves to tell you the bad news, but they don't really tell you the good news. You know what I mean? Like they love to tell you when the market is collapsing, but they never tell the public when the market is making a comeback. And this is one of the great financial frauds of all time, in my opinion, because you should be telling people, hey, look, no, don't freak out. Like there's money being made. People are getting rich right now, and you're missing it. Well, because the word poor, we know what poor stands for, right? How many of y'all know what the word poor, POOR, stands for? Anybody know what that? Put something in the chat if you know, if you've been listening for a while. Poor stands for what? Passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. So sometimes we stay investment poor because we pass over opportunities repeatedly, because our financial consciousness may not be at a level that it needs to be for us to know what's really going on and where the opportunities are. Okay. So that's really what's going on. And so right now, if you want to know what I'm doing what I've always been doing. I remain consistent. I believe in investing. A good strategy is to prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. And so I'm positioned so that if the market goes up, I'll make money. But also if it goes down, there are ways to protect your portfolio, with a decline. So you want to always be ready for that. And in fact, when times get really good, you always want to say, okay, when's the other shoe going to drop? When are things going to get bad? All right. So anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Also, if you want to take a look, I have a free training called How to Make Money Without Working, and it's all sort of an introduction to selling stock options as a way to generate income. I can show you exactly how I make money for my family. So if that's something of interest to you, just text the word money to the number 87948. Text money to 87948. And I have to also remind you that the All Black National Convention is happening soon. The All Black National Convention is a gathering of B1 people, Black First people from around the world. And it's basically for people that want to solve our problems. So we have about 50 experts that we've booked to come in, experts on everything from health to real estate to crypto to relationships. And basically the goal is to define what it means for our community to win, for our people to succeed, for us to define policy in our families and in our homes that are going to help us win. So if you're that type of person, if you're into self-improvement, if you're into community improvement, the convention's for you. So feel free to go to allblacknationalconvention.com. We meet October 25th through the 27th in Chicago, Illinois, which is actually in a suburb called Lombard. So you guys are going to love it. And also we've got the Westin, which is a nice hotel, to reduce their prices for the weekend. So there aren't that many discount rooms available. So you may want to go ahead and book your ticket now. All right. So let's hop back in. So we're talking about the market in terms of what's going on. One thing I want to mention to you also is that I've read reports that a lot of the tech stocks, the AI stocks, are starting to get sold by a lot of experts. A lot of the fund managers and money people are starting to get rid of their AI stocks. And the reason they're getting rid of their AI stocks is because there is an increasing and a growing uncertainty regarding whether or not AI is going to actually translate into real money. There are people that started off with the AI boom and they were very excited and said, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. All kinds of money is going to get made. Trillions of dollars will be generated from AI. And so we're maybe a couple years into this boom. And the money really hasn't shown up. People are saying, like, where's the money? Like, where's the beef? Where's the beef? Right. So basically, what's kind of going on is that you have big tech companies like Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, and others that have this massive capex spend, capital expenditures. They're spending tons and tons of money, billions and billions of dollars to develop these AI models and everything else, but they haven't really come up with enough use cases that generate revenue to fully justify the massive financial projections behind AI. So a lot of the AI companies like Nvidia and others are starting to be sold off. There are a lot of people who are starting to lose faith in the AI boom. Now, it does not mean that they think AI is going to be garbage. It doesn't mean that they think AI is a dud. It just means that they don't think that AI is going to meet the expectations that they had for AI in the beginning. So you may want to keep your eye on that. If you have some tech stocks, maybe some put options might help to protect your portfolio. Maybe you shave some off the top. I can tell you what, my wife's oldest son, who's my stepson, Quincy, he actually told me to buy NVIDIA 6, 7 years ago, back when the price was like maybe $20 a share, $50 a share, whatever it was. And I bought it just because he just said, hey, I played these video games and this company NVIDIA makes the chips for the games. And I said, sure. And we bought a few, maybe 100 shares. I don't know how much we bought, but anyway, that $5,000 investment turned into $100,000, and that was a nice little gift. So I kind of thanked him for that. So consistently buy stock. If you're consistently in the game, that gives you a chance to get those big wins. Nvidia was the last big win that was out there, but there are others out there. There are other assets or other stocks right now that are trading at that $50 to $100 range that are one day are going to be worth $800 a share or $1,000 a share. So if you're not in the game, then you can't catch the wave. You're going to miss it for sure. So make sure you're consistently investing. Another quick thing I want to mention really quick in terms of, and then what I'm going to do is get to the stock that I mentioned earlier that I just bought. But one thing I want to mention really quickly is in terms of what's going on in the market overall. Right now, basically, the stock market has had large dips in the past. That in in every case it's recovered. Also, companies have been reporting pretty strong earnings this quarter. The Federal Reserve is probably going to reduce interest rates at some point. The only question about whether or not they're going to reduce interest rates is not if they're going to do it, it's by how much. Most of the market believes they're going to do a 1/4 point decline. There's some small chance they may do half a point. If they do half a point, then you're going to see a bigger spike in stock prices as a result of that. In addition to that, when you're talking about investing, I encourage you to always keep a long-term perspective. Remember that market dips tend to be opportunities for good investors to make money. You sometimes just have to let the time kind of pass. Let's see here. Now, let's see. Mara and Alt are both fumble stocks, says Dallas Jack. Well, Marathon Digital is a great moneymaker. It's not necessarily a great stock in terms of what people expect it to do long term. However, with Marathon, what I like to do is I like to buy put options and sell options on Marathon. So that's it. So some stocks are good for some things, some stocks are good for others. It's like in the Olympics, you had Noah Lyles, who's really great if you're running a short race of 200 meters or less, but he's not very good if you want to run a marathon. So some stocks are sprinters, some stocks are marathon runners, and it's very important to make sure you know the difference. Also, it's very important to make sure you know what you're getting into. While nobody can predict what direction a stock is going to go, you can look at some things that like how volatile that stock is, and Marathon is a pretty volatile stock. So the other thing too about investing is that you want to be diversified enough that one stock doesn't make or break your life. If you're in a position where the decline of one stock ruins you, then that means you're not diversified enough. Most of the time, when you hear about an athlete going broke or an entertainer saying my investment advisor lost all my money, chances are that they either A, got ripped off, somebody stole the money, or B, they put all their money into one or two investments, and those investments went bad. An investor who has a healthy amount of diversification does not typically have any probability of going broke. So don't ever believe it when somebody says, "Oh, I don't invest because I invested and I lost all my money." Chances are they were investing wrong. It's like somebody saying, "Oh, I don't ever drive no car because I drove a car and I lost my leg from driving a car." Well, chances are you either had a really bad day or you're a very bad driver. So you really probably want to ask more questions, because driving cars don't kill people and driving doesn't kill people, but bad drivers can kill people, or if you just have really bad luck. Okay. So anyway, moving on. The last piece here before I move on, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I do have my Spotify podcast. It's called Dr. Boyce Daily Stock Market. So if you go to Spotify, look up my name, you'll see Dr. Boyce Daily. You'll also see the Dr. Boyce Breakdown. The Dr. Boyce Breakdown is where I talk about a little bit of everything, politics or whatever, like some of this chaos going on with the election and all this other stuff. If you want to know how I feel about the election, I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm not voting for either party, and you're not going to bully me into that ever. That's just not going to work. And the thing is that the reason I don't care so much is because if you look at black wealth going back 50 or 60 years, black people were ranked dead last in wealth 50, 60 years ago. We're going to be dead last at the start of this election. We're going to be dead last at the start of the next election. We're going to probably be dead last until we decide to do something different. So if you want to know what I'm voting for black people. And I'm voting for us to do what we need to do in order to achieve the kind of power that we deserve. I don't think politics is designed to give us that. I think that we're being used. I think we're being manipulated. I think these people, these bastards up in Capitol Hill, they're just manipulating us and getting us all emotional over something that's not going to change our lives. And I refuse to participate. So if that offends people, I'm sorry. But I encourage you to hopefully consider the idea that we live in a free country. And as a free black man, I'm allowed to have a free opinion without you somehow thinking you can control what I think. Anyway, so let me give you guys the stock that I mentioned that I just bought. This will make a difference in your life. This will put some money in your pocket. This is an investment that I'm making, so I believe the stock is going to go well or do well in the next 3 to 5 years. This is not investing advice. I want to make that clear. However, this is what I just purchased. The company is called Nice Technologies. The ticker symbol is NICE. So it's easy to remember. Nice. Everybody type the word nice in the chat so we know which stock it is. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you I just bought some shares. Actually, what I did was I put an order in on E-Trade. It's going to execute on Monday. I'm probably going to forget that I bought it because I buy stock all the time. When I get extra money, that's what I do. Some people take extra money, they go to the club. Some people take extra money, they go buy Gucci belts. Some people take extra money, they go to McDonald's. When I get extra money, I buy ownership stakes in corporations so my family can have a freaking legacy. I want my wife and my kids to be good after I'm gone. I want my family to be financially secure. I want my people to have financial peace. I want my people to have economic success. So I try to form habits that are going to better us and benefit us. I don't fall into culture that leaves us broke, leaves us busted, disgusted, looking crazy, looking blind, deaf, dumb, and stupid. That's not who we're supposed to be. So there you go. So the stock is Nice Technologies. Feel free to take a look. It's totally up to you. One last point. On August 19th, actually Monday, the Black Investors Championships begins. The Black Investors Cup is a championship that we do. We just started this in the Black Business School where we want to see who the best investor is. So it's a competition that everybody can sign up for if you want to. If you go to blackinvestorscup.com, we start August 19th and you get 6 weeks to buy stock in the simulator, and you can buy options and all that stuff. And after 6 weeks, we're going to look and see who the top investor is. They give us a leaderboard in terms of how much money everyone has made, and the person who's made the most money will get this big old gigantic Black Investors Cup. I have it in my house. It's pretty amazing. I wish I could keep it, but I'm going to mail it to the winner. And also you get lifetime access to the Black Business School, any class you want to take, 100% free. And then on top of that, I will bring, if you want to, I will bring you on my platform and you can talk about how you did it so the rest of the community can learn how smart you are. So feel free to go to blackinvestorscup.com. We start August 19th. That is what it is. And as you also know, we just took a group trip to Egypt. Where we and I figured that like taking these like financial field trips could be really cool. So anyway, we just went to Egypt and I told you guys about that, which was an absolute blast. We had so much fun. And I tell you, I learned a lot about how awesome it is to travel with just good black people. And just like it was like we were like a big street gang, except we're not thugs or nothing, but it was like nobody was gonna pick on us or anything. And we rode camels and went all into the into the heat and had just had a blast. Right, took the luxury cruise and everything else, and so we decided to do more trips. By the way, that's King Tut's mummy on right there. That's my wife and I saw that. That's kind of nasty, but it was cool. And anyway, so we're gonna do more trips. And as you guys know, Cody Ransom, who's a Black Wall Street expert in Tulsa, came into class the other day. And we told Cody that in November we want to bring a group up to Tulsa and just all of us as a group go learn the real history of Black Wall Street together, and do a tour with Cody and visit his business called the Black Wall Street Liquid Lounge, which has the absolute best food, best drinks, best service, best black people ever. And really just be proactive in terms of not just learning about Black Wall Street, but really contributing to Black Wall Street. Not just learning Black history, but making Black history. Black history is meant to be made, and I believe we can make history. I know we can make history because I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we are the baddest Black people to ever walk the face of this planet, and I think that we have the ability to do whatever we want to do. We got the DNA in us already. We do come from those kings and queens that they talk about. We just got to activate the king gene, activate the queen gene, and not activate the thought gene or activate the thug gene. That's what they want you to. They want you to activate the ratchet gene. I want us to activate the gene, the genius gene. Okay. So anyway, if you'd like to travel with us and be notified when we take these trips, you can join the B1 Travel Club. Just pull out your phone, text the word travel to the number 87948. If you text travel to 87948, I'll notify you about that trip. And then also I'll notify you when we go to Ghana, which is what we're planning to do sometime in the spring. I just got to make all the arrangements. So anyway, guys, I'm out of here. God bless you. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. And I hope you have a good night. Take care now. Bye-bye.